Liverpool found future Neymar. When a star begins to appear in Brazil, it doesn't take long for the player's name to spread and skyrocket around the world. Like Neymar, for example. The fact that these names are being compared with big names on the way to Europe shows that the market is well done. Palmeiras' young forward Endrick was in such news this week, and Liverpool was among the clubs watching the player's level in South America. They are among the clubs that follow the young player in Barcelona. This time, however, things can turn around. Sources close to Liverpool confirm that transfer talks are in progress with the young Endrick, who is described as the future Neymar. However, the Catalan team also shows interest in the player and draws an example of a role model by showing a previous transfer. When Neymar transferred to Camp Nou, they followed him again and finished this transfer by competing. Now the same transfer war seems to flare up again. And they showed themselves in the market with the transfers of Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. from this market before. These transfers showed that they adapted to the Spanish league with their performances. However, on the other hand, players such as Gabriel Jesus did not have trouble adapting to the Premier League and showed very effective performances. In other words, the conclusion is that transfers from this region should not be prejudiced. The reason a string of transfer news has surfaced about Endrick is that he turned 16 on Thursday. So now he is eligible to sign the first professional contract in Brazil. Apart from Liverpool, the young player is also interested in Manchester City, Manchester United and Chelsea from England. Endrick has scored 170 goals in 172 youth games so far and is expected to carry that form into senior football. Endrick's contract runs until 2025. And his contract has a £51 million release clause. But it seems unlikely that he will remain in South America until then. Harvey Elliott, Fabrizio Carvalho and others were transferred successfully at very cheap rates. Endrick could be agreed with the player's club for a cheaper investment transfer, perhaps without the release clause. But judging by what Vinicius, Rodrigo, Jesus, and others have shown, they can be sold for much higher prices than they came in. There is obviously nothing wrong with the transfer model Liverpool has chosen. As in Elliott and Carvalho, low-cost and low-risk gambles were found to be possible. Cater tactic from Liverpool to Bellingham. Liverpool may not be able to sign Jude Bellingham this summer, but they are doing their best to sign him next year and are already looking for ways to make a deal. According to information obtained from sources close to the Merseysiders club today, the Reds will apply the Cater tactic to sign the English star player. In the summer of 2017, Liverpool reached an agreement with Red Bull Leipzig documenting the arrival of Guinea national team player Naby Keita at Anfield in 2018. Julian Ward is now pursuing a similar deal for Bellingham and talks are currently progressing very well. The young player has more than 2 years out of contract and is making around £50,000 a week at Signal Iduna Park. As it is known, Liverpool have made it clear from the beginning of this summer that they will break the bank to sign the English player and have made it clear that they want the £103 million player very much. Bellingham has become a great player for Borussia Dortmund since moving from Birmingham City to Germany in 2020. Under the management of Marco Rose in the last season, the Dortmund player directly contributed to 20 goals and with his physique that looks quite strong for his age, he managed to follow the giants of the world. Former Red star Mohamed believes the 19-year-old star midfielder would be an ideal player for Jürgen Klopp. The Kaiser said, "I think Bellingham would have been a perfect fit. He scores goals, assists and has a great physique for his age. Liverpool could be too much into the Premier League with him." The Reds have already made a deal to prevent Jude Bellingham from going to another team during the transfer window next year. While it is obvious that Klopp has repeatedly stated that he admires the player, the budget allocated by the club for this transfer is quite high. It is very likely that this deal will be Liverpool's most expensive transfer. Moreover, tempting the German club, which is said to be leaving the player with an offer worth £100 million, means that Bellingham's value is prevented from increasing after one more year of superior performance. Liverpool are about to make a very smart transfer move. Liverpool fans must show patience to new transfer Darwin Nunez. Luis Diaz set an unrealistic precedent among Liverpool signings. After joining the Reds from Porto in the January transfer window, the Colombian's adaptation to his new team, where he fought to the end in all four lanes, amazed everyone. The talented player scored 6 goals in 26 games he played. He had an impressive performance in many of his later appearances and never grinned on the pitch, as if he had been at Liverpool for years. After such an impressive performance recently, the fans expect the same performance from Darwin Nunez, but this expectation may turn into pressure on the player. Liverpool broke the transfer record of their history by signing Nunez this summer and landed the player that Manchester United wanted at Anfield. The 23-year-old scored 34 goals in 41 games for Benfica last season and will add a new dimension to Jürgen Klopp's front line. A more orthodox number 9 than Liverpool is used to. It will take some time for Nunez to get used to his new team. The Uruguayan not only joined a new team, he started playing in a new league in a new country. That's why Liverpool fans need to be a little patient and supportive of the club's record transfer. Not every new signing can perform like Luis Diaz and may need some time. But that doesn't mean Nunez can't be successful at Liverpool. Nunez's pre-season performances have not yet been revealed. The 23-year-old Uruguayan played against Manchester United and Crystal Palace. We can't say that he showed a very effective performance in these matches. He then played in a friendly match against Leipzig, and Nunez scored 4 goals in a 5-0 win. However, it is too early to evaluate this performance. When we look at his past career, we see the same data again. Nunez did not make a hit in every team he went to, and after a while, he had an impressive performance. Moreover, given the depth of Liverpool's offensive line, this could be a lucky season for him. Diaz, Firmino and Salah can form the team's offensive line when the season starts, even if Nunez doesn't start in the starting lineup. Of course, it is thought that he may be included in the squad over time. With the arrival of Nunez, Klopp's hand seems to be relieved for different tactics. Liverpool can now build a squad fit for 4-2-3-1. In addition, Nunez can play on the left wing and it is obvious that he brings flexibility to many systems.